Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for this deep dive into online security.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
You know, we all spend so much time online these days.
It's true.
And it's easy to just kind of take it for granted that everything's safe and secure.
Right.
But the reality is that there are real risks out there, especially when it comes to, our money.
Absolutely.
So we're not here to make you paranoid or anything.
Yeah,
We just want to give you some practical tips and some things to think about so you can stay safe online.
that's the goal.
So think of this like, learning self-defense,
Hmm.
but for your digital life.
I like that.
And speaking of self-defense, one of the most important things you can do to protect yourself online is to have strong passwords.
Yeah, passwords are really the foundation of good online security.
But the thing is, the average person has like over 100 online accounts.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So how are you supposed to remember unique and strong passwords for all of those?
That's where password managers come in.
Password managers. Okay.
Yeah, so a password manager is basically like a digital vault
Okay.
that stores all of your passwords for you.
So I don't have to remember them all.
Exactly. You just have to remember one master password to unlock the vault.
That makes sense.
And the password manager will generate and remember all of your other passwords for you.
So that sounds pretty convenient.
It is super convenient.
But is it safe?
Yeah, it's actually much safer than trying to remember all of your passwords yourself.
Okay. How so?
Well, first of all, password managers use strong encryption to protect your passwords. So even if someone were to get access to your password manager, they wouldn't be able to see your passwords.
Okay.
And second, password managers can help you create strong, unique passwords for each of your accounts.
Which is something that I'm terrible at.
Yeah, a lot of people are.
I always end up using the same password for everything.
Or variations of the same password,
yeah.
which is really not good.
I know.
Because if someone gets one of your passwords, they've got them all. But a password manager can help you create a different strong password for each of your accounts.
Okay, so I definitely need to start using a password manager.
I would highly recommend it.
And you said something about a passphrase too.
Oh yeah, passphrases are a great alternative to passwords.
Okay.
So instead of using a random string of characters for your password, you can use a phrase that's easy for you to remember but hard for someone else to guess.
Give me an example.
Like, my dog loves to eat pizza on Tuesdays.
Okay, yeah, that's much easier to remember than like, try it D1T1 on Elba Peter.
Exactly, and it's also much stronger
Interesting.
because it's longer and more random.
So passphrases are good.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we've talked about passwords and passphrases.
Right.
What about, those two-factor authentication things?
Ah, yes, multi-factor authentication, or MFA.
Yeah.
That's another really important layer of security.
Okay, so how does that work?
So basically, MFA requires you to provide 2 or more pieces of evidence to prove your identity. Well, the most common form of MFA is a code that gets sent to your phone or email.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen that before.
So you enter your password, and then you enter the code from your phone.
Right.
And that proves that it's really you.
So even if someone steals my password, they can't get into my account.
Right, because they don't have your phone.
That's good.
Yeah, MFA is a really powerful way to protect your accounts.
I have to admit, I sometimes find it a little annoying.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
It's like one more step I have to do.
Yeah,
But I guess it's worth it for the security.
it definitely is.
Okay, so we've got strong passwords or passphrases, and we've got multi-factor authentication.
Right.
What else can we do to stay safe online?
Well, another important thing is to be aware of phishing scams.
Oh, yeah. Phishing.
Yeah.
Those are the emails and text messages that try to trick you into giving away your personal information.
Exactly.
I feel like I get those all the time.
Yeah, they're becoming more and more common.
And they're getting more sophisticated, too.
They really are.
Like, I almost fell for one the other day.
Oh.
It looked like it was from my bank.
Mm.
And it said that there was some problem with my account, and I needed to click on this link to fix it.
And did you click on it?
I almost did.
Oh.
But then I noticed that the sender's email address was a little bit off.
Good catch.
So I didn't click on it, and I reported it to my bank.
That's the right thing to do.
Yeah. So what are some other tips for avoiding phishing scams?
Well, like you said, always check the sender's email address carefully.
Right.
Look for any misspellings or strange characters. And if you're not sure if an email is legitimate, you can always hover over the link before you click on it.
To see where it really goes.
Exact.
And I guess if something just feels off,
Yeah.
it's probably best to err on the side of caution.
Absolutely. If something seems too good to be true, it probably is.
Right.
And you should never give away your personal information like your password or your credit card number in response to an unsolicited email or text message.
Good advice.
And if you're ever unsure about something, you can always contact the company or organization directly to verify.
Yeah, don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call them.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about passwords, multi-factor authentication, and phishing scams.
Right.
What about protecting our devices and our networks?
That's another really important aspect of online security.
Okay, so what do we need to know about that?
Well, first of all, it's important to have good antivirus and anti-malware software installed on all of your devices.
Okay, so like a security system for my computer.
Exactly.
So what does that do?
Well, it helps to protect your devices from viruses, malware, and other online threats. It's basically like having a bodyguard for your computer.
So it's constantly scanning for threats.
Right. And it can block them before they can do any damage.
Okay, that sounds important.
It is very important.
And what about keeping our software up to date?
That's also really important.
Okay.
Because software updates often include security patches that fix vulnerabilities that could be exploited by hackers.
So it's like patching holes in my defenses.
Exactly.
I used to be really bad about updating my software.
I think a lot of people are.
I always thought it was just a way for companies to make me buy new stuff.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But then I realized that it's actually really important for security.
It is. It's one of the most important things you can do.
Okay, so antivirus software and software updates.
Right.
What about VPNs?
Ah, yes. VPNs are virtual private networks.
Okay.
And they can be a really useful tool for protecting your privacy and security online.
Okay, so how do they work?
Well, basically, a VPN creates a secure encrypted connection between your device and the internet. So all of your internet traffic is routed through the VPN server.
And that makes it more secure?
Yeah, because it's encrypted.
Okay.
So even if someone is snooping on your internet connection, they won't be able to see what you're doing.
That's good to know.
Yeah, VPNs are especially useful when you're using public Wi-Fi.
Oh, right, because that's not always secure.
It's very easy for someone to snoop on your internet traffic when you're using public Wi-Fi.
Okay, so I should use a VPN whenever I'm at a coffee shop or something.
It's a good idea.
You know, I used to think that VPNs were just for like techies and hackers.
Yeah, a lot of people think that.
But now I realize that they're actually really useful for anyone who wants to protect their privacy and security online.
Absolutely. They're for everyone.
Okay, so we've talked about passwords, MFA phishing scams, and protecting our devices and networks.
Right.
Anything else we should know about staying safe online?
Well, one last thing I would mention is the importance of trusting but verifying online platforms.
Trust but verify.
Okay. Yeah, so, we do a lot of our financial transactions online these days. So it's important to make sure that the platforms we're using are legitimate and secure.
Okay, so how do we do that?
Well, first of all, you should only use well-established, reputable platforms for financial transactions.
Like my bank's website.
Exactly,
Okay.
or a trusted payment system like PayPal or Stripe. And you should always double-check the website address to make sure that it's correct.
Look for the HTTPS.
Yeah, look for the HTTPS and the padlock icon in the address bar.
Okay.
Those are signs that the website is using a secure connection.
And if it doesn't have those things,
Then you should be very careful about entering any personal or financial information on that website.
good to know.
And if you're ever unsure about a website, you can always contact the company or organization directly to verify.
Yeah, it's always better to be safe than sorry.
Absolutely.
And what about backing up our data?
Oh yes, backing up your data is crucial.
Okay, why is that so important?
Well, imagine if your computer crashed or your phone was stolen
Oh, no.
and all of your important data was gone.
Like my photos and documents.
Exactly.
That would be terrible.
It would be a nightmare.
So how often should I be backing up my data?
Well, I would recommend backing up your data at least once a week,
Okay.
and you should store your backups in a safe, secure location.
Like where?
Well, you could use an external hard drive, or you could use a cloud storage service.
Like Google Drive or Dropbox?
Exactly.
And those are secure?
Yeah, as long as you choose a reputable provider and use a strong password.
Okay, good to know.
And I would also recommend encrypting your backups.
Encrypting, okay.
Yeah, so that even if someone were to get access to your backups, they wouldn't be able to read them.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's an extra layer of security.
Okay, so backing up our data is really important.
It's one of the most important things you can do to protect yourself online.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
Any final thoughts you want to leave our listeners with?
Yeah, I would just say that cybersecurity is an ongoing process. It's not something that you do once and then you're done.
Right.
It's something that you need to be constantly thinking about and updating your practices as new threats emerge.
So it's a journey, not a destination.
Exactly.
And it's all about finding that balance between convenience and security.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
It was my pleasure.
And to all of our listeners out there, stay safe online.
And be aware.
And remember, you're not just protecting your money.
You're protecting your peace of mind.
Exactly. And that's worth it.
It is.
Okay, that's it for this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.